Yeah, it's about to go from us reading about these prophecies to us having to face everything that we ever feared. It's war. Can't hear what you can't see. You know what I mean? On one accord. Gird up. This moment you've been waiting for, huh? I got you. My helmet, my shield, my sword, it's war. My breastplate, my brothers on one accord. I'm waist deep in this truth. I gird my loins, my feet shod with that gospel of peace. But it's war. My helmet, my shield, my sword, it's war. My breastplate, my brothers on one accord. I'm waist deep in this truth. I gird my loins, my feet shod with that gospel of peace. But it's war. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We going all of the way. They know a certain number gon' get sealed, so they target the faith. Why they keep bothering Jake? This is the gospel of peace. Why they keep calling it hate? Maybe cause they can hardly relate. We got a lot on our plate. Aki, I'm too busy fighting these demons. I am not trying to debate. 4 horsemen is mounting up. We at the start of the race. All gas, no brakes. All faith, no luck. We can't slow up. Why you pray so much? Cause I'm thankful we could've died, but he put his grace on us. Fear the most high, do the commands. That's the way you show love. You know the wicked gon' target us. That's why we gotta stay armored up. Yeah.
Shalom to all the Jews and Gentiles alike. Sending a strong shalom to the children of light. Namaste to all. Y'all already know what the deal is. All praises to the Most High. All praises to 𝐭𝐡𝐢𝐬. All praises to the Supreme Consciousness, the Divine Mind, Yahuwah Sabaoth, through the Holy Shekinah. Acknowledgement to the Councils of Light, the Council of 9, the Council of 12, the Council of 24, the Council of 144. Acknowledgement to the Ophanim, the Seraphim, the Malachim, the Ishim, the Elim, the Eralim, all of the archangels and the abiding angels, Michael, Uriel, Gabriel. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother's angels. Acknowledgement to the 24 elders, to Metatron, to the Elohim, the B'nai Elohim, the sons of light, and of course acknowledgement to the office of Christ, and of course acknowledgement to our elder brother Yahushua Hamashiach Yahweh Matzah the Lamb, 𝐯𝐢𝐲𝐬𝐬, Yesiah the Messiah, Yahusha, the Lion from the tribe of Yehuda, the one the world calls Jesus Christ. So brethren, today we gonna be hitting some spicy today. Alright, the Spirit really got me, really want me to get this video out. Okay, this video gotta go out ASAP. So we're gonna be covering the electromagnetic null zone that we are basically entering in right now. Well, we've actually kind of been in it for a hot second. All right, we definitely got lots of reading to do. All right, so let's jump in, shall we? So let's dive into the keys of Enoch, the book of knowledge. We're going to key 118, verse 7. There is presently occurring a space-time overlap with the higher evolution as the Earth's solar system enters an electromagnetic null zone, a vacuum area in space which will change the magnetic forces of creation. Pause. Let's get a definition for space-time overlap. The definition for space-time overlap: the overlap of different levels of intelligence with their respective consciousness domains In the greater universe, higher intelligence can move through space between three-dimensional sets into coordination with intelligence of any other space-time set. Second definition: the means through which our human race is sufficiently altered to receive the characteristics of the higher creation, the bridegroom. Through faith, we understand the many worlds framed by the word of God, which sustains the strangers and pilgrims between worlds. All right. Third definition: the passing of one energy universe through another. Okay, so it's like we're entering into a new phase. Okay, basically sum it up for you. Verse 8: the change of the electromagnetic density in the Earth's atmosphere will activate some species to become more violent and other species more Christ-like, as man is pulled either into an upward spiral of light or negated by the breakdown of the old electromagnetic frequency. This will bring about a complete reorganization of the Earth's life system as the human creation begins to operate with a new magnetic and electromagnetic creative power. So we are entering into a new age. All right. So this whole lifestyle that we live in right now, right, going to work and dealing with these people and dealing with this, dealing with that, dealing with the jobs, right, dealing with all the mumbo jumbo that's going on in the White House, right, all that stuff, that's gonna come to an end. All right, that old consciousness is about to come to an end. It's about to be over with. That gang mindset, that's about to be over. Going to the club every weekend, every Saturday, that's gonna be over. Okay, fornicating with almost everyone at the club, that's gonna be over with. That's gonna be done with. Okay, that's gonna be done with. Let's go to verse 17. Before the new story of creation happens, the Earth will go through gross, geomagnetic, and catastrophic changes as the magnetic regions of the North and South Pole release their torque, spinning the shell of the Earth into the new program of existence. See, this is also why the hurricanes have been increasing, the volcanoes have been going off, all right? The earthquakes have been going off, the solar flares, that's been popping off. I believe there was like a big, massive solar flare that happened about a few weeks ago. And I think that was around the New Year's, right? It's around because the New Year's really is the spring equinox. All right, so it happened around that time. All right, and it's not a coincidence because it's been ramping up since 2017. All right, ever since 2017, it's been ramping up. Verse 18, during the completion of cycles of star progression, our entire solar system will enter into a vacuum in space where no electromagnetic fields exist. This is called an electromagnetic null zone. At that time, cosmic waves will enter the polar areas of our Earth and penetrate to the very core of our globe. And of course, y'all know that the Earth aren't really a globe because, it's really endless. All right. And there's more land. So, of course, the globe that they give us, back in school ain't even true. These waves will not only release some 48.6 times, y'all see what it says. You already see what it says. Ton miles of torque on the Earth, but will trigger unseen wave properties from the core of the Earth, placing catastrophic stress on the shell of the Earth and spinning the mantle of the Earth. Let's go to key 114, verse 3. A time will soon come when man must enter a new galactic shell of the larger graviton spectrum. This happens when a solar civilization undergoes severe magnetic and gravitational changes upon entering an electromagnetic null zone in its immediate universe. Enoch told me that at this time, the higher evolution, all right, the higher intelligences, all right, the angelic hierarchy up in the celestial realm will communicate knowledge to man to prepare him for an exodus as his planet begins to experience geophysical upheavals and the release of neutral matter from the core of the sun. These changes will also be timed with the release of neutral matter within the core of the earth, which has been the cause of cataclysms and catastrophic upheavals during previous geophysical cycles. So every X amount of years, I think it's about 3,000 some change, I think it's 3,240 years, there is a magnetic pole shift. It happened back in Noah's time with the flood, and it's gonna happen again in our time. All right, so this isn't no game. Like, this is really serious, because people think they're gonna be here forever, right? Just like I was said in the scriptures, right? Just like in the days of Noah, people were eating, drinking, marrying, right? Acting like nothing was gonna happen. This is also why they lied to you about the whole earth, because the earth is not spinning in space and it's going around the sun. No, the sun is circling the earth. All right, if you read the book of Enoch, I think around chapter 70, it talks about how the sun is going through portals. Okay, and just the fact that there's more land that they hiding goes to show you that your globe that you learned back in elementary school is a lie. If you know about Admiral Byrd, where he went and he did these expeditions outside of Antarctica, and he came back and reported that there was in fact more land, and somehow I think a few days or months later, he just ended up passing away. And that's why they created the Antarctica Treaty, because they don't want people going outside of Antarctica. Although there's a point in Antarctica where you can't cross. This is also why the ice caps are melting, because that magnetic pole shift is in process right now. So this is serious. And regarding the sun that we got right now is about to be completely removed. There are two suns. The divine sun, the divine light, is seeping through our sun right now, and this is what's causing all of these catastrophic events. The solar flares popping off, the volcanoes popping off, the hurricanes getting more crazier, the earthquakes going all crazy. And we're about to go into the Third Testament, and we're gonna see exactly that. So basically, to sum it up, the earth is cleansing itself. Okay, I don't know if y'all watched the Eternals. Y'all watch the Eternals, right? So you had one of the Eternals, what was his name, Icarus, that he wanted to make sure that the emergence, I think that's what it was called, right? The emergence. He wanted to make sure that the emergence happened. But the other Eternals, they got into their feelings, they got attached, and they wanted to stop it. That emergence is the magnetic pole shift. Alright? And the Eternals is supposed to represent the higher intelligences, which I find pretty hilarious. I'm telling you, these Marvel movies, they tell you everything. They got everything. Okay, Stan Lee, listen, bro. Stan Lee, definitely. I don't know where he definitely did not come up with that stuff. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. He did not come up with this stuff. There's no way you can. Okay, you got it from the scriptures, because they know this stuff. So let's go to the Third Testament, chapter 55. It's the Book of True Life. Chapter 55, verse 66. The elements shall cry out for justice, and upon unleashing themselves, they will cause portions of the earth to disappear, becoming seas, and seas to vanish where land arises. So Atlantis actually, in fact, is coming back because Atlantis is sunken, right? So lands that are here right now are gonna sink, and lands that have been sunken gonna come back. 67. Volcanoes will erupt to announce the time of judgment, and all nature will be agitated and moved. Let's go down to 75. The elements shall be unleashed, the cosmos shall move, and the earth shall tremble. Then there will be horror amongst men, and they will want to flee, but there will be nowhere to go. They will wish to restrain the unchained forces, but will not be able, for they will feel responsible and repenting too late for their recklessness and imprudence. They shall seek death to escape the punishments. What's that one precept in the Bible? It goes, man shall seek death and will not find it. Man. Oh man. Let's go down to 79. Soon a time shall begin in which there will be great happenings for the world. The earth will tremble, and the sun shall cause glowing rays to burn its surface. The continents, from one end to another, shall be touched by the pain. Every corner of the earth will suffer the purification, and no creature shall escape the hardship and atonement. And the title of this chapter in the Third Testament here is the purification of the world and humanity in the judgment. See, this is also why you cannot be stuck in just the Bible, okay? Because when you just have the Bible, if you just have 66 books and that's it, you are not getting the full understanding of what's really going on here, right? This is why you gotta go outside the Bible. Now back to the keys. These magnetic fields are aligned through areas of magnetic energy, which mark the points where energies from outer space pour into the Earth's surface. These areas are balanced on the Earth by the magnetic North and South Pole. And at the time when tremendous solar flare movements bombard these magnetic points of the Earth, the fields of the Earth will be set in cataclysmic imbalance, spinning the shell of the Earth to new magnetic meridians, which find their imbalances equatorially. Now let's get that precept in Isaiah 24:1. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 24, and verse 1, and it reads, Behold, the Lord maketh the earth empty, and maketh it wastes, and turneth it upside down, and scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof. So we are about to go through a purification process right now on this earth. And if you ain't ready, then you better get ready. You better get ready. Let's go to key 109, verse 46. It is at this point that the life intelligence, which is talking about you, talking about us, it is at this point that the life intelligence must decide if it has the ability to go through cubic life space to become identified with a higher evolutionary starseed intelligence in a neighboring star system and join in co-participation as a new member of a galactic family. Now, if you think that's crazy or it's far-fetched, then that just means you're still stuck in carnality, right? You got to get out of that, right? You have to get out of that ego consciousness, thinking that you're just matter, right? Remember when Dr. Strange, when he rolled up on the lady, right? And he just said, "Oh, we just matter. That's all there is. We just matter." And then she hit him with that 1-2, right? And he went out his body, right? If you still stuck in carnality and thinking that you just flesh, then you can't really grasp this. But once you realize you are a light being, you are a child of light, the whole thing changes. Now let's get a precept in the tablets Thoth, the Emerald Tablets. We about to go deep. We about to go deep. Just like when Thoth went down in the halls of Amenthi. Let's go to tablet 3. Man is a star bound to a body, until in the end he is freed through his strife. Only by struggle and toiling your utmost shall the star within you bloom out in new life. Back to the keys, verse 47. If it does this, it proceeds from its parent star to a secondary star, and into a pluralistic form of galactic creation of many suns. If it does not mutate into multi-dimensional star directions, it is devoured and destroyed. Now, if you don't want to get down with the program, you're going to have to lay down. If you don't want to get down, you're going to have to lay down. So as the earth is changing, you got to change too. Now let's get a precept in 2nd Esdras, chapter 8, verse 1. And he answered me, saying, the Most High has made this world for many, but the world to come for few. So there's not going to be a lot of people that's going to be able to withstand this new cycle, this new era that we going into right now. They're not going to survive this purification process. Let's go to key 113, verse 18, page 124. Islands of light will be formed from the land separators on the east and west coast of North America, where the people of light will be gathered. So it's gonna get so bad to the point where we gonna have to hop out of this dimension. All right, and we're gonna see later how the children of light are gonna be sent into the cities of light in the inner earth, right? And also other dimensions, right? So when them chariots come, when the Merkaba vehicles come through, right? When those pillars of light come through and the higher intelligence come pick you up, you gotta be ready, right? It's gonna get really bad. It's gonna get really bad. You think it's bad now? Oh, we ain't seen nothing yet. Verse 19. Massive floods and the releasing of neutral matter from the core of the earth will cause drastic dissolving and settling out of the basic materials on the surface of the earth. Upon entering the lip of the electromagnetic null zone, the whole solar system will be picked up and reseated in a different vibratory dimension of the galaxy. The solar system will be projected off the lip of the electromagnetic null zone into a different system of harmonics, which will require fifth dimensional bodies. Hold up, let me read that again. Hold on. Let me read that again. The solar system will be projected off the lip of the electromagnetic null zone into a different system of harmonics, which will require fifth dimensional bodies. So basically you really gotta get ready. Okay? Like the food that we eat, like the satanic American diet, where you eating the burgers, you know, the cheese, the French fries, the acidic foods, that you gotta cut that out. You gotta cut that out. Okay, that alcohol, you gotta cut that out, right? The fornicating with everyone at the club, sleeping with as many people as possible, racking up that body count as high as possible. Verse 22. In the process, the incomplete body and mind shall lose its individualization, and the soul shall be reprocessed. Those who are to represent the host of light in new electromagnetic spectrums shall maintain their physical form within a different envelope of light, so they will be able to work with the advanced races of the Zoharim. So let's get the definition for Zoharim races. Advanced physicals, which have a pure energy body or matter energy body than the physical races of population 1 singular sun systems with their planetary worlds. Verse 23. Those who are taken off to other populations of spiritual intelligence will be taken where their ability to work with the harmonies of the soul will continue. Let's get another precept. 2nd Esdras 6 and 9, a classic. For Esau is the end of the world. But I find out who Esau really is. And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Who's Esau? Now let's go to the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary. Esau, in the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary, the body or physical vigor. In the immature consciousness, the natural man is moved by desire, appetite, and passion, or satisfied regardless of the higher law. So Esau is supposed to represent that carnal mindset, while Jacob represents that spiritual mindset. So the carnal mindset is the end of the world, and the spiritual is the beginning of it that followeth. So if you want to get your back blown out every weekend by multiple dudes, or if you want to lay down pipe every weekend with multiple women, then nah, you about to get cleaned up. You about to get swept off this earth. If you about that gang life, then nah, you out of here. That's a celestial glory. Because when that divine light comes through, your body is not going to be able to handle it, right? And we going to find out how the DNA is going to react to that light. So let me just set it up with Revelation 16 and 8. All right. And it reads, and the fourth angel poured out his vial upon the sun, and power was given unto him to scorch men with fire. So the wicked are going to get burnt up, but for the righteous, that won't be the case. All right. So let's go to the keys. Key 202, verse 1. The name of Yahuwah is coded within every biochemical function in our body. So the Most High literally dwells in your DNA, especially within the life-giving DNA RNA matrix. The divine name transposed upon the mechanisms of the matrix coding is a primal factor in the bioengineering, both for the present and as well for the future. The tetragrammaton of the Father's sacred name is comprised of the 3 sacred letters Yod, He, and Vav. Let's go down to 5. Verse 5. In this key of Enoch, we shall see that the tetragrammaton of the Father's sacred name is used within a deca-delta system. The deca-delta system is 10 light emanations working through a pyramidal conic section, which arranges the blueprint of life. So let's get the definition for deca-delta system. All right, and I'm gonna go into the superscripts for this one, okay, since it expands it a bit more. If you don't know what the superscripts are, basically the superscripts are there's more keys to the Keys of Enoch, right? Because it stops at 319, and the superscripts are key 401 to key 406. No, I think there's a 7th one too. So if you go on the website, you're gonna see the superscripts. So there's more to it. All right, Deca Delta, the divine system of coordination and balance between the upper spiritual and the lower, the experimental material worlds. Okay, so basically coordinating top to bottom. All right, I'm reading the second definition. 10 light emanations working through pyramidal conic section, which arranges the blueprint of life in relationship to the divine recorder cell, which is speaking on memory, right? So if you know about the Akashic record, that's basically what that is. A unique pyramidal energy network formed by 10 light superscripts of the divine mind. All right, the network is an energy habitat for sephirothic life forms, which issue forth from each level of higher universal substance to form the Olam Hayahud, the world of unifications. Okay, so basically it's just speaking on the coordination between up in the celestial realm, down here in this sun universe, down in this third dimensional realm. So if you look at like the 10 Sephiroths, right? If you look at the top, you got 𝐭𝐡𝐢, and then it goes all the way down to 𝐁𝐿, right? That's basically what it is. So it's a roadmap back to where you need to go, back in the presence of the Most High. And this is the thing about these scriptures. The more you increase your consciousness, your DNA starts to replicate. So it goes from a double helix to a triple helix, you know, so on and so forth. In the Adam Kadmon video that we did, we're speaking on how the Adam Kadmon body, right, that light body comes in through scripture. All right, so as you gain more of this understanding of these scriptures, right, as more you get more light, you're going to be able to flame on, because the scriptures are coding your consciousness. All right, you are a light being, right? Everything that you do, everything that you partake in gives off a light, right? Everything you think about gives off a light. Everything you eating gives off a light, right? So the entities on the other veil can see that you putting in work down here. All right, so I'm telling you, it gets really crazy. It gets really crazy. Oh man, all right, let's get back to it. Let's go to verse 21. He explained to me that the Deca Delta codes give direction to the DNA RNA in the beginning. Once the DNA RNA is started, right, when the light comes through, however, there is spontaneous replication through the angles and frequency codes. This is continued until a reprogramming takes place, at which time a new coding function from the Deca Delta. Let's go to verse 77. For by placing these divine codes within a neutral zone surrounded by a higher electromagnetic wavelength environment, the common heterocycle ring is broken, permitting the life codes to be reprogrammed genetically to operate in a less dense physical form, like the triple helix, right? So that's when that transformation happens. 78. Therefore, the new 𝐁𝐤 capacity, right? I'm speaking on your body. The new 𝐁𝐤 capacity will demonstrate the ability to live in a high frequency light radiations, waves that can go faster than the speed of light, and will exemplify the mutation of the physical form that is necessary for those beings who plan to survive the great changes in light radiation when our sun goes into an electromagnetic null zone. Now I see why they push the jab so much on everybody, because that jab is affecting your DNA. It's also not a coincidence that it happened back in, was it 2021? Right? Because ever since 2017, things have been ramping up. All right? The CMEs, the coronal mass ejections, the solar flares, right? The hurricanes, the earthquakes, the volcanoes. If y'all know about the Hopi prophecy, the blue and the red 𝐭𝐡𝐢𝐬, right? That's been popping up too. All right? All right, let's go back to verse 79. This null zone is necessary for the reprogramming of our genetic structure, and by utilizing the process of combining light radiations in a neutral zone, our biophysicists will be able to co-participate in the connecting of the DNA RNA nuclei to chromosomes of another evolutionary inheritance. This co-participation will take place under the direct administration of the Brotherhood of Light, who will reprogram us to go into a higher wavelength of light. Let's go to key 213, verse 22. The DNA RNA can then work with higher light irradiation factors, which allow for new changes to take place, enabling the body to be ultimately a body of light. Hence, the receding DNA RNA will give forth a new physical form for the body of light, and man will see how the body of the physical flesh, what you got on right now, the physical DNA RNA, is simply the biochemical preparation necessary for the infusing of the Christ body of light. Whoop, there it is. So right now we at the time where we gotta prep our vessels. All right, so especially the food that you be eating, right? If you eating steak all day, right? If you eating all that junk food, that McDonald's, that Burger King, that Wendy's, right? Like, you gotta cut that out, cause when that divine light comes through, your body's not gonna be able to cope with that light, and the wicked, they not gonna be able to go on. And if you're trying to get picked up by a Merkaba, you still gotta prep your vessel. Okay, you still gotta eat better foods, right? That what's that joint called? Raising Cane's. I know people, they love that Raising Cane's. Those chicken tendies and those fries and that dip. Oh man, they love that joint. They love it. They just trying to build one near me right now. They trying to catch me lacking. I'm like, nah, y'all not gonna get me. I ain't gonna get me with that. Nah, we reaching the end of the cycle. Remember, every 3,240 years, that magnetic pole shift occurs. All right, so we ain't got no time to be out here playing. Okay, and the Most High working 7. So if things been going off since 2017. Then it ain't a coinky dink that in 2024, April 8th, there's gonna be a crazy, massive solar eclipse over America, because X gonna mark the spot. So what you think gonna happen? Cause I'm telling you right now, it's about to get crazy. Let's go to verse 31. We will not suffer the negative irradiation or excessive ultraviolet radiations that will bombard places of the earth, for we will inhabit the safe zones at the time of the great geophysical upheavals. Those who are not protected against the radiation will fulfill once again the ancient pre-Aztec saying, which speaks of those who were carried away by the sun's rays into destruction. Let's get a precept in Malachi chapter 4. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith 𝐭𝐻𝐸 𝐷𝑆𝑎BAOth, the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. Let's go to the Apocalypse of Elijah, chapter 5, verse 22. The cosmic fire. It will come to pass on that day that the Lord will hear and command the heaven and the earth with great wrath. And they will send forth fire, and the fire will prevail over the earth. 72 cubits. It will consume the sinners and the devils like stubble. A true judgment will occur. Let's go to the book of Sibylline Oracles, chapter 7, verse 120, where it says, cosmic destruction. Woe to you, wretched one. Woe, evil-spirited sea. You will all be devoured by fire, and you will destroy people with brine. For there will be as much fire raging on the earth as water, and it will flow and destroy the whole earth. It will burn up mountains, burn rivers and empty springs. The world will be chaos when men perish. Then wretched men, burning badly, will look on heaven, void of stars, but overcome by fire. They will not be destroyed quickly, but being burned in spirits by their perishing flesh for the years of ages forever. They will know by dire tortures that it is not possible to deceive the law of the Most High. Now let's go to the Kolbrin Bible, chapter 3, the Destroyer. This is verse 5. The heavens will burn brightly and redly. There will be a copper hue over the face of the land, followed by a day of darkness. A new moon will appear and break up and fall. Verse 6. The people will scatter in madness. They will hear the trumpet and battle cry of the destroyer, and will seek refuge within dens in the earth. Terror will eat away their hearts, and their courage will flow from them like water from a broken pitcher. They will be eaten up in the flames of wrath and consumed by the breath of the destroyer. So it's about to be really, really bad when this magnetic pole shift happens. And since when this happens, the righteous gotta get removed off of this dimension. And this is where the Merkabahs come in, right? This is where the higher intelligences come in. Now, some of us might get picked up by Merkabah vehicles, right? And if you see all these chariots happening in the sky, that ain't no Project Blue Beam. Y'all need to cut that out. Cause the angelic hierarchy right now, they sitting at the ready. They watching, they monitoring you, okay? And they ready. Alright, so some of us might get picked up by a Merkabah. And of course your vessel gotta be ready. Okay? So if you haven't watched the Merkabah video, definitely go check out the Merkabah video that we did on this channel. Alright? And there's also gonna be some of us that are gonna be going in the inner earth. Now let's go back to the keys. I'm gonna go to key 319, verse 133. And we're gonna see how the cities of light under the oceans are gonna activate. All right. So key 3119, verse 113. And I was shown the vision of the physical Adam Kadmon coming from the heavens, and how he activated the cities of light under the oceans, which were prepared as places of refuge and protection for the children of light. Now let's go to the apocalypse of Elijah. Okay, we're going back to the apocalypse of Elijah. We're going to go to chapter 5, verse 7, where it says, natural disasters which follow the removal of the righteous. And on that day, earth will be disturbed and the sun will darken. Okay? So when that sun is going to be darkened, it's going to be removed. Because once that magnetic pole shift happens, that sun is going to move 45 degrees to another location. But once that happens, it's going to be completely removed. So the whole earth is going to be open to everybody at that point. Okay? And on that day, the earth will be disturbed and the sun will darken, and peace will be removed from the earth. The birds will fall on the earth, dead. The earth will dry up. The waters of the sea will dry up. The sinners will groan upon the earth, saying, what have you done to us, O son of lawlessness? Saying, I am the Christ. When you are the devil, you are unable to save yourself, so that you might save us. You produce signs in our presence until you alienated us from the Christ who created us. Woe to us, because we listen to you, right? All these Gentiles, all Catholic, Christian church, right? They just listen to these religions, listen to these churches, these pastors. All right. Lo, now we will die in a famine, where indeed is now the trace of a righteous one. So now the Gentiles are like, Where the righteous at? Where they at? I need to know. Right? They you know. It says here, where indeed is now the trace of a righteous one, and we will worship him. Or where indeed is the one who will teach us. Where the righteous at? You know what I'm saying? they gonna be like, they gonna sit there and they gonna be like, yo, like we need some help right now. But we already gonna be gone. The righteous are already gonna be completely removed off of this dimension. Now indeed, we will be wrathfully destroyed. Hold on, let me go back. Where indeed is now the trace of a righteous one, and we will worship him. Or where indeed is the one who will teach us, and we will appeal to him. Now indeed, we will be wrathfully destroyed, because we disobeyed the Most High. We went to the deep places of the sea, and we did not find water. We dug in the rivers and the papyrus reeds, and we did not find water. So when the righteous, when the children of light, right, once they are removed from this dimension, they gonna be sitting here wondering, where the heck they at? Where y'all at? Because they gonna realize all the things that they've learned in the church, Sunday school, the pastors, the Gentile breakdowns, all of it's a lie. Oh man, let's go get that precept. Let's go get a classic. We gotta get the classic now. Jeremiah 16:19, and it reads, O Lord, my strength and my fortress, and my refuge, in the day of affliction, the Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profits. So they're gonna admit that they've been learning lies this whole entire time. So what does that tell you about what they're teaching you in the church and in modern day Christianity and these Catholic churches, these pastors, these Sunday schools? What does that tell you? It tells you that the things that they are rolling with in these last days, these teachings, are nothing but lies. Now let's go back to the Keys of Enoch. Back to key 319, verse 76. The righteous man exits the physical dimension into one of the spiritual bodies connected with the overself. So for those that don't know what or who the overself is, those are your pre-existing bodies of light in other dimensions. There are 5 other yous up in those higher dimensions, up to the 5th to the 9th dimension, right? Your electromagnetic body, your aka body, your epikinetic body, okay, your geometrian body, and your Zohar body. If you watch Doctor Strange Multiverse, right, you already know what the deal is, because they telling you what's going on in the movies, but people just see it as fiction. And you telling me Stan Lee just came up with that off the dome? Nah, Stan Lee definitely got the information somewhere. He got his ideas from somewhere. All right, he got them ideas from these scriptures. The Avengers are the children of light. The X-Men, the mutants, those are the children of light. The hidden ones. All right. And then when they're in the academy with Professor X, right, they learn their powers, right? That's speaking on the academies of light being set up by the higher intelligences. All right, so let's go to key 304. Enoch explained that there are still living species that survive, even in the polar areas, because the geomagnetic change is not a question of advancing and retreating ice, but the relocation of the entirety of the Earth's mantle along a new magnetic meridian. All right, this is just speaking on the pole shift that happens. All right, in the process of the energy buildup leading to these events, Enoch said all large-scale changes in the magnetic fields arise out of mechanical motions of a conducting medium, which involves magneto-hydrodynamic activity. The Earth's core, composed mostly of molten iron, conducts electric currents, which amplify accompanying magnetic fields when energy wave bombardment pours into through the polar areas of the Earth. Excessive cosmic wave bombardment transforms the iron core into a liquid plastic-like field, which disrupts the state of energy equilibrium within the core of the Earth. These unique energy transformations are the cause of some of the larger magnetic reversals throughout the galaxy. These massive cosmic wave bombardments are caused by changes in the vibration rate of star grids in relationship to fundamental periods of activities within the Milky Way. Furthermore, the transformation of the Earth's core into a liquid, plastic-like field causes the core dynamo to act like an inner lubricant. This allows the shell of the planet to slide when the proper torque forces on the shell of the Earth are thrown into geomagnetic reversal. Our planet is no different than any other form of life that must renew itself, right? Because the Earth is going through a cleansing. It is like an energy molecule going through renewal and being restored to a new existence. We must understand that the geomagnetic reversals and the changing of the electromagnetic density are necessary parts of the recycling of human biochemical processes. As humanity passes into a new body of light in all of these fundamental changes, however, we must understand that there is no fixed time scale in these changes from the standpoint of a singular relativity. The time factor is determined by a sliding criteria of events on a galactic and planetary scale, matched with the spiritual activity of a sun universe directing the blueprint of casual fertility. Between the periodical timescales of cosmic renewal, man emerges on the scene as an intelligence which survives by being a part of the Father's plan of ongoing soul creation. Is man thus to await the total destruction of the planet? God forbid. What the Father has ordained, he beckons into renewed creation through the return of the Masters, who will set their feet upon the planet in order to assist man in the work of recreation. Now let's go to the last key here. Key 312, verse 111. By standing in awe of the many divine minds coded in the divine template, self-realized man understands why our star is a buffer. Our sun is a buffer, which shuts out direct input and output messages emanating from the divine recorder cell, for the body is more than a host to the linear reality of one incarnation cycle. Okay, so that's just speaking on how the sun right now is just a buffer, and it's keeping you from receiving memory of your overself bodies. Remember we talked about the overself bodies, right? Those 5 bodies in those higher dimensions. Okay, that's what the sun's doing. All right. The sun, as a solar reactor, however, buffers output messages of the higher memory functions of simultaneously overself programs or previous incarnations, which would overload the mind and be destructive to the body. Okay, so that's what that sun is there for. 112. Your body must first be physically tempered and spiritually synthesized before it can understand its work now. In relationship to previous or simultaneous programs of creation, unless your body can work on multidimensional planes, you cannot receive other multidimensional levels of information without going completely insane according to this level of reality. Therefore, the sun is a solar reactor, which is used to buffer the output messages that your mind would normally require to know where you have been or where you are in other space-time cells. All right, so our sun is a buffer, okay, and it's gonna be removed. All right, but just imagine a normal Joe, an average Joe, going to work, and getting this type of information, okay, and realizing that there are 5 other hymns in those higher dimensions, and you gain memory, you gain the remembrance of your previous incarnations. Something like that happens to an average Joe, they gonna go crazy. And the sun is what's blocking all of that. So I'm telling you, when you go outside of 66 books, you go out the Quran, right? You expand your mind, you realize that the Most High has had more books written, and you get into these higher teachings in these other books. Oh, your overstanding jumps. It takes a big leap compared to someone still in the church or still in a specific book, and you're always supposed to be learning, not staying stagnant. All right, verse 113. However, the light of the higher luminaries is of a greater source of light than that of the sun. Okay, so that divine light is way stronger than the sun. It is able to reopen your thought channels so you can be reconnected through higher intelligence in advanced star fields of intelligence, which our sun system buffers out. Let's go to the book of Mark, chapter 13, verse 24, and it reads, "But in those days of that tribulation, the sun shall be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light." This is the book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 23, and it reads, "And the city had no need of the sun, neither of the moon to shine in it, for the glory of the Most High did lighten it, and the Lamb is the light thereof." So we are pretty much at the end of this cycle. All right, so we gotta prep our vessels. Okay, if you got any hatred, that's gotta go. You gotta let that hatred go. If you got any grudges on somebody, for somebody, you let that go. All right, because just like what it says in the scriptures, love covers a multitude of sins. So practice love. So let me get this little last bit here. So we're gonna go back to key 319, 319, and if y'all know about these BRIC nations, they coming against America. They coming against American. All right, people talking about World War III popping off, this and that. I'm telling y'all, man, like we approaching the end. We are at the end of this cycle. Okay, this is it. It's done for. It's not gonna get any better. So let's go to key 319, verse 108. "And I saw how, with the cleansing of the heavens, the unrighteous powers of higher intelligence," that's speaking on the fallen angels, right, "were cast into the physical domains on the edge of the galaxy, and were teleported into the 3-dimensional consciousness of human creation. There they were joined by others who sought refuge from the galactic hierarchies of Michael. Those that had been cast out into our physical domain were part of the fallen angelic multitudes. They sought to incarnate and fill the lower worlds with negative and grotesque forms of intelligence." Remember that video that we did about grotesque beings and the fallen angels, right? They about to be down here. These were joined with the rebellious sons of the earth, who gathered together to make war against the sons of light, who came from the heavens and out of the oceans on the eastern and the western borders of the land of 𝐷𝐷𝐷 America, which is South America, right? So this about to be a showdown. This about to be something out of a movie. It's about to be like the Avengers. Let's go down to 114. This was one of the many pictures that was shown to me in the fiery scroll. I saw that in the last days, great multitudes from Asia would break forth in a swift military move across Central Asia. I saw the military commanders of Gog and her armies begin to move through the lands of Central Asia, on their way to the Middle East, and her armies extended across Central Asia and the lands of Western Asia, as one extended landmass of people divided into the lowlands into the configuration of a fork, while within the mountains special weapons were stationed. Then I saw how great earthquakes took place around the world as the geomagnetic grids were loosened. And as the armies of Gog approached the Middle East, I saw a gigantic earthquake take place that was followed by massive land movements in Central Asia, which divided the ranks of Gog into Gog and Magog as the War of Reckoning went into its final phase. Let's go down to 124. Next, I saw fiery wheels which covered the sky, and these wheels came to rest upon the earth. They became temples of light as they opened to receive the righteous, rescued from the convulsions of the earth. Right? It's about to get so bad to where we got to get out this dimension. Others were taken beneath the oceans into gravity null islands of light, which were pyramids in the disguise of underwater mountains. In these island atmospheres, the remnant of the good seed of the earth were prepared for the cycle of the reign of the Christ upon the earth in union with his higher worlds of light. So right now, we in some exciting times right now. Okay, we came at the right time. We came down at the right time just for this. Okay, we at the end of the cycle. All right, so that's gonna be it for this video, for this lesson. Hopefully you got something out of it. You learned something new. You munched on something delicious. And I say shalom and stay strong.